All right, we got a bunch of earlies. I'm going to talk to 5 or 6 of them, something like that. Then we'll give it to Jay. We heard Rusty come in there. KL7CD. Mike often takes some check-ins, so we'll just pass it around the table here and see how it goes. And, of course, I'm fighting the usual Austin noise here. So I'll make it easy on myself and start with my neighbor, TXW. George, talk to us, K5LYN.
Test. WB5TXW. Okay, just out of 32S1 and 75S3 right now. I don't have the amp on. The squawk box that I tell the power and the SWR is running out of batteries, so I'm taking that apart, and I won't go into that at all because nobody will know what I'm talking about. But that's about it for tonight. WB5TXW, back to net.
The S-Line barefooted sounds great, George. I'm sure there's no problem in anybody hearing you. All right, let's see if Barry's still out there. YMF, hey, Barry, you there? He crashes early because of the night shift that he works, or the day shift, the weird hours there. But Barry was in here earlier on the Swan 500. All right, how about OJB? Denver, tell us about that S-Line.
Well, this is Denver N5OJB, Gonzales, Texas. I'm using a 32S1 transmitter, 75S1 receiver, and I'm driving a NCL 2000. I'm also using the, what is this thing? It's a 5-something station monitor with a speaker in it. That whole thing, 9 yards. I'm getting roughly 700 to 1,000 watts out of this NCL into an inverted V fan dipole with an apex at about 30 foot in the air. I love these radios. Dan made me a good deal on them, and I cannot complain. They sounded great when he got them, and everybody says they sound great now. So back to you, Lynn, N5OJB, Gonzales, Texas.
Okay, 2 things, actually 3 things. Denver, the radio sounds great. As always, Collins S-Line seldom ever let anybody down, and yours is doing a great job. About the amplifier, I recently acquired an NCX3 transceiver in an estate sale, and I've got it out on the bench, and so I may be joining you with some national stuff here pretty soon. We'll see how that project comes out. And about the name of that other piece of Collins equipment, a lot of us put some cheat notes down here, so remember what we want to say. Why don't you put you a cheat note about the name of that other piece?
312B4 is what it is.
Yeah, cheat notes have a way of getting away, too. I understand that. Nice signal, Denver. Moving on. Mr. BTM. Hey, Ralph, talk to us. K5LYN.
Yeah, K5LYN and the net N5BTM. Good evening, one and all. It's Ralph in Spring. And tonight we're back on the old Kenwood TS520. And that's driving a homebrew set of 4 813s and grounded grid. And about 800 watts or so to a inverted V antenna. That's I've got 2 antennas on one feed line, one for 75 and one for 40 meters. And then that's going through an MN2700, a Drake tuner, and the old reliable MC50 microphone. So that's about the sum total of it. Everybody's sounding good. Glad that we could not have any storms and all that other kind of stuff without the static crashes this evening. So back to you there, Lynn. K5LYN, N5BTM.
Okay, Ralph, spectacular signal on your end. Great. It overwhelms the Central Austin noise, and I really appreciate it. Beautiful signal. All right, let's see if let's get the same response out of WB1E. I bet that's the Swan 500, isn't it, Doug? Over to you, K5LYN.
Yeah, K5LYN, Whiskey Bravo 1 Echo over here in the great city of Bryan, College Station. There's 2 towns, therefore pick one. Anyway, so yeah, it's the Swan 500 get-together. I understand there was another radio out there of the same breed. There was one on eBay that went for, I think, $165 plus. I think it was $60 shipping just about a month ago on eBay, but don't know where it went. But somebody got it before I had a chance to bid on it. So anyway, I guess one is enough. Going out through a RF bird analyst showing I'm doing 310 watts. So that's about just right for this new set of Zenith 6HF5s. Going up about 100 feet of RT213 to Homebrew 4-1. Current Ballon, and through an inverted V tune for this frequency. So there you go, Lynn. And everybody sounded great as usual. Not missing those lightning strikes. That's why we were going to be barefoot tonight. So back to you, Lynn. This is WB1E.
Swan 500 is hard to beat. I mean, in terms of reliability, quality, power in one box, it's absolutely amazing. Nice signal, Doug. All right, let's see. Moving on here. Hey, how about KE5Q? Jim, talk to us. K5LYN.
Okay, K5LYN in the net. This is KE5Q. Tonight we're remote near Mount Jackson, Virginia, out in the mountains here of the western part of Virginia. And the station back in Plano is the usual remote. It's the Kenwood TS2000X. That is driving the boat anchor, the Clipperton L, which I got from Sammy many years ago. And that, that's about 800 watts, maybe 850. That's going into the Ultimax 8040. And here at the remote, we're using my new Microsoft Surface Pro 7 and also the Microsoft Boom headset. So that's what we're running up here. And the band sounds really, really good tonight. I'm hearing everybody good. And that Swan 500, Doug, sounds really good. K5LYN in the group, KE5Q.
Very fine, Jim, and thanks for telling us what you were talking into over there. I was going to ask that had you not reported it, because it's got beautiful audio, outstanding, and you certainly put that station together exactly right. Anything else for us tonight, Jim?
That's about it. Just enjoying the net. KE5Q, remote.
All right. Outstanding. Okay, I'm going to talk to EDX Byron, and then we'll give this thing to Jay, and then I'll tell Jay who else I have on my list, and we'll try and not leave anybody out that was early. If you were an early and we leave you out, come in and tell us that you were an early. That way we'll pick you up before we take check-ins from the outside. Actually, I'm going to take two. I'm going to pick up Kenneth after I talk to Byron. So EDX, Byron, talk to us. K5LYN.
Yeah, K5LYN in the net. WA5EDX, Byron in beautiful Bluffdale, Texas. Hot here today as usual. Well, not as usual, but for a change. And at least no rain, so I guess that's good. And truth in advertising, not on a boat anchor tonight. I'm on a dinghy anchor, I guess you'd call it. But it is in the old Kenwood family, a Kenwood 440 SAT, I guess. So just barefoot, and had it hooked over here to the operating position, and where I usually hook up the boat anchors on the workbench. I've been working on the SX17 receiver, so can't get much power out on that old rig, but it is interesting to work on, and we're going back on that old receiver to 1938. So it's called a Super Skyrider. It was called actually a Special Super Skyrider because I think they were built mostly for the FCC back in the day. Or a lot of them were. And just an interesting old receiver, dual RF front ends, so it's got a little sensitivity, and a lot of other interesting
interesting ancient radio things about it. So it's been kind of fun to work on old grid cap tubes and all that. But not having to do much work to it. It pretty much worked right out of the attic, so to speak. So let's let you pick up a few more others. And good to hear everybody on tonight, receiving everybody well. And that static is not too bad. Back to you, Lynn. That's all I have. K5LYN, WA5EDX.
Hey, Brian, I'll be very interested to hear, Byron, Byron, I'd be very interested to hear how that comes out. I had an SX17 or 16, I forget which it was, but it looked like there were going to be some hard caps to get to, but maybe you figured out how to deal with that. But keep us posted on that project. I'm very interested. Over.
Yeah, sure will. Apparently, from what I've read up on, the SX16 and 17 had the same front panel, so they're very similar. Very similar in that regard, and they had the S model and then the SX model. I guess the only difference was the X had had a crystal in the IF strip for a little additional selectivity you could switch in. But yeah, I'll let you know how it comes out. This one's a pretty clean rig, and I can tell it was kind of made for the government. It's all conformal coating inside and out. So it's and that conformal coating, I think, pretty much protected the resistors and caps, kept the moisture out of it a little bit, and therefore I'm not having to replace too much. It looks like the main electrolytics were replaced before I got it, so I'm not sure how many more of those I'll do. Right now I'm just playing with it. So that's all. Back to you.
Outstanding. Keep us posted, because that is an ancient radio, and it'll be fun to see what becomes of it. Nice work on your part. All right, let me talk to Kenneth here, AG5XC. Hey, Kenneth, talk to us. K5LY.
Yeah, K5LYN, AG5XC. Thank you, Dan, and all the other moderators for putting this little show together. Really enjoyed it. Tonight we're on an old Yaesu FT101EE. Got hooked up to a GSB 201 amplifier. S1 at a Quick 2040 figure to a G5 RV.
Outstanding signal, Kenneth. And let me tell everybody, Kenneth, I don't know if everybody identified you at our little tailgate down at Marion, Texas, and then Kenneth and I crossed paths at a little tailgate swap fest they had in Williamson County here a week ago. But if you ever sit down and talk to Kenneth and you want to know something, he knows the answers. He's one of the most capable and informed engineers I've ever met. And it's always a pleasure to have you on board, Kenneth. All right, let me give this thing over to Jay. Jay, I've got WOZ, DPP, CD, 5L, CCN, and KB0UOZ, Perry, way up there in Missouri. That's what it looks like on this end, Jay. Take it away, K5LYN.
All righty. I think I got most of those. You said, anyway, if I missed somebody, I got most of those wrote down. All right, folks, this is Jay, KM5QS, and I'm coming to y'all this evening on my favorite old boat anchor, the only one I've got left in the shack at the moment, TS820 Kenwood, and the R820 receiver. I've got them hooked up in transceive, and works pretty good. Well, I'm driving a TL922A amplifier, pair of 3500s to a homebrew antenna tuner, a balanced tuner, a homebrew balanced line, and antenna. And that's pretty much it. Approximately 1,299 watts at the moment. And out there. So I'm going to start this show off with Gerald, KC6CNN. You there, Gerald?
Hey, Joe. Thanks a lot. Everybody on the boat and Mathematics 900 radios out there. That's Swan for other than President. Name here, Gerald. PTH is in Arlington, Texas. And coming to you tonight on a TS530SP that I redid during Alaska on an MC50 microphone going to a
Okay, Gerald. Sounding great. 530 is doing what it's supposed to. Good to hear you again. We'll look for you next week, hopefully. All right. Next I have K5LT. Okay, Lyle. Let's see. Sounding good as usual. Let me see here. K8WOZ, the woodpecker man.
Yeah, good evening, Jay. And everybody else in the shipwreck, boat anchors, whatever. This is KWOZ downtown Houston. We're talking on the same thing as the second previous person was talking on. They were talking on a Kenworth ES530SE. Looks just like new, and to me it works like new, and even had original box. But anyway, been on this for a while. I really like this radio because it's very stable. It's got a great receiver. Anyway, no sense bragging on it. Everybody knows what they are. Microphones, a Shure 444D. I was going to put an MC50 on, but I didn't tonight. And these 444s, as most people know, they drive the pants off a radio, and you start keeping it in the ALC range. So driving a homebrew 3813's amplifier, putting out 1100 watts right now, and the antenna's a Ultimax 2-band bazooka up there about 38 feet, and I'm going through a Drake tuner, but it's in the bypass mode because I got 1-to-1 right here. Real quick question for anybody. It may have something to do with boat anchors. I've been looking for one of these little bitty batteries, the lithium backup batteries, the CR, what is it, 2032, I think they call it. But I need the one with the tabs, the solder tabs. Does anybody know if anyone other than Amazon or a mail order has those in a store? Have you ever seen or heard of? That's it from here, Jay. Thanks. KWOZ.
Okay, Dan. No, are you talking about the little batteries like they used to have in the handheld Power Max?
No, they're a backup, memory backup battery like in a Kenwood 440, 430, and a bunch of other radios too. It's a standard 2032, but it's got little solder tabs attached to it. I had heard that if you go to Batteries Plus, they'll pull one out and they'll tack a little tab on it for you, but I don't know that for sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, the 2032s, those big coin batteries that but they got extra tabs on them. I don't know. I have never seen one in a store.
Why don't you use the little battery holders and just snap them in, wire it in?
Where do you get one of those?
Off eBay. They're all China built, so you can buy those in quantity real cheap. You can get a 10-pack for, I don't know, $3 or $4, something like that. So just Google 2032 or 2016 battery holder, and a million of them will pop up, and select U.S. only, U.S. vendor only, and order away. That's what I do, and then just glue or tape the battery holder to some convenient part of the case, and then from then on you never have to worry about soldering the battery in.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, you can get anything done on this frequency. As you're talking, my telephone dinged, and somebody that's listening said that I've got some, I'll mail you one. Incredible. Okay, thanks, Jay. Problem solved.
Comment. All right. This is the place. If you got questions, we got answers. Never mind. Radio Shack ain't here no more, so I can't make fun of them. Let me see who's next on my list. W5DPP. Sammy, you got any boat anchor stuff somebody might want to buy?
Well, good evening there, Jay. M5QS, this is W5DPP. This is Sammy. I'm located down here in the Bryan College Station area. Yeah, I've got a few pieces I guess you could consider boat anchors. I got a couple of $100 deals. You know, I've got an FT101 Yaesu that's pretty nice shape and works. Don't know how good it works, but it does work. Transmit and receive somewhat. So that's a $100 radio, and I also have a TS520 Kenwood that would be another $100 radio. You could be on the air for $100 on the boat anchor net with a boat anchor only radio. That's probably the only time you want to have them on. Let's see what else. I got a few amplifiers around here. Still, I've got a Clifford and L. In fact, I think I got a couple of those, and still got an SB200 out there. I've got also, I was talking about the NCL 2000. I've got a NCL 2000 that it's worked, been sitting on the shelf there for a while, but it was working when I put it up there for about $300. You know, if somebody's got one, that'd be a good amplifier just to have for a spare parts, but it is working anyway. There's several other things around here, but that's probably good enough for now. You can reach me just email through QRZ, or phone number's 979-820-4814. 979-820-4814.
Contact.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, this is Dan again. I meant to mention this to Sammy previously, but this might be the place to talk about it. I've had several people in the last week or two ask me about boat anchor amplifiers, like some of those big old helicopters that Sammy's got around there. And I wouldn't be surprised if he advertised a couple of those. That people might come open up some room for them.
I got a couple of helicopters, HC-33s. Got a couple of those and a couple of Gonset GSB 100s, and there's a couple of, what's that other oddball got? I think the GSB 100s have 811s in it, and they got another amplifier that's got boat anchor amplifier, it's got 811s, so can add that to the list.
Yeah. Anybody's got some helicopters out there, like HT-37, maybe an SX-111, and you need an amplifier that matches it, that 33 will do it. Among others, but at any rate, alrighty. Thank you, Sammy. Let's see. How about KC5L, Tom?
Hey, good evening, Jay, and the Boat Anchor set. It's Tom, KC5L in San Antonio. And tonight we're talking on the Central Electronics 200V with a D104 microphone. And it's driving a Central Electronics 600L amplifier doing about 300 watts PEP into a Johnson KW Matchbox. And the antenna is a homebrew doublet up about 15 feet. And we're listening on R390A. And that's about all I have. Everyone's sounding great here in San Antonio this evening. So back to you, Jay, KC5L.
All righty, Tom. Thank you, sir. Beautiful job, as usual. And there is one here, KF5 Charlie November. Brian, I believe it is. Go ahead, sir. Well, I didn't hear him. Did I get his call wrong?
I think you got it right, Jay.
Okay, well, maybe he had some difficulty because I wasn't hearing him very well a while ago.
Yeah, he has a pretty compromised antenna. I could barely hear him here, and he's in Austin.
Okay. Well, who else did you have on there that you gave me a while ago or did you?
Yeah, KB0UOZ, Perry in Missouri.
Okay, yeah, I had him. I just didn't know if I'd missed someone else. Alrighty. Well, let me see. Let me try Perry, and then I'll turn it to Rusty. KB0UOZ, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, Jay. Good evening to you, sir. Good evening to everybody here on the Boat Anchor Net. The best liked net of the entire week. Anyway, kind of frog in my throat. Anyway, we're on the old Heathkit junk. We're on a 102, Nestle 102. I've got the whole station lined up here. Got the console and the speaker with the power supply, and I've got the SB610 scope and all that kind of junk, and the frequency counter and the centimeters, and I'm running the 2060 tuner, and I'm running a SB 200, I'm running an SB 220 amplifier, and we're hitting it with about 50 watts and getting a gallon out of it. So that's kind of the story here, Jay. Good evening, everybody. I hope man's kind of noisy, but I'm copying everybody pretty well, seems like. Thanks, guys, for being here, doing that, and we're right along to the end. KB0UOZ.
Okay, Perry. Well, you are consistently one of the best, I guess what for us will almost be rare DX stations in here, only you ain't rare. You're here all the time. Anyway, sounding great as usual. Thank you, sir, for checking in and participating. And I did forget one other that I don't know if he's out there or not. KL7CD. Are you in here, Mike?
Yeah, I'm here, Jay. Thanks for picking me back up. Appreciate it. Weather's turned hot here. And we did great through May and the first week of June. It's starting to warm up here, and the humidity is rough, too. Anyway, tonight I'm on the Hallicrafters Twins, as usual. HT44 transmitter, SX117 receiver. And that runs into, I got the matching power supply and speaker, by the way. It runs into an SB220 amplifier. Running about 750 watts tonight. Vector back a little bit. And going out through a Johnson KW Matchbox, a true balance tuner. And then out of that, with 450 ohm ladder line or window line, whatever you want to call it, goes to my loop, about 455 feet loop. And I can get a one-to-one with KW Matchbox just about anywhere I tried to. Microphone is a D104, and I hope I'm doing okay with everybody out there. I just wanted to say I've been working on an HT37 I picked up recently, and I spent all day today on it just trying to, I do have operational transformer, so that was pretty good. And I've converted it to a solid state, disconnected the 5-volt filament leads, but I haven't actually connected it to a dummy load to see where I stand now. I got the voltages about right. Actually, they're a little low for solid stating it. I would have expected it to go up, but actually it went down. So I'm not sure what's happening there, but I'm working on it. I also have a T4X Drake transmitter I'm working on to put with my R4 receiver, which is restored, and try to get a pair of Drake twins. I already got the power supply to take care of the T4X, but I've had a lot of issues with T4Xs in the past. That's the very first model, but I keep working on them. I got parts rigs now out the wazoo. That's what I'm doing here. So back to you, Jay. KL7 Charlie Delta, New Braunfels. My name is Mike.
Okay, Mike. Good deal. No, you sound fine down here. You're on the mic is just right tonight. It's I did not hear anything objectionable. Of course, I'm easy to please anyway, so whatever. Oh, let me see. Rusty, you ready to take a turn? WK5R, KM5QS, over to you.
KM5QS, WK5R. Thank you, Jay. Anyway, good evening, everybody. This is WK5R, and you're listening to the the Boat Anchors Unlimited net. I'm on the usual stuff tonight, not running the Boat Anchor stuff. And one of these days, I'll get that, maybe get that side band generator fixed or get something else in here to run. But anyway, I'm running using the usual TS590S, the Audio Technica microphone, and driving the Homebrew GS35B amplifier into the Homebrew fan dipole up at about 50 feet, and I'm running about 1,300 watts. So, oh, by the way, info for Dan there, Mauser carries those battery holders, so you might check there. All right, who else for the Boat Anchors Unlimited net? Come now.
Kilo Charlie 5, November Papa Charlie.
Kilo Charlie 5, November Papa Charlie. Go ahead.
Hello, Rusty. This is Hubert San Angelo. I'm on the TS830 with the MC50 microphone, bypassing the amp and bypassing the tuner, going to the Swan WM2000 watt meter out to an off-center fed dipole. So about 110 watts out, and that's all we got going here. So it's great to hear all the good boat anchors. I do have a for sale, and I hate to do this, but I've got to get this out on the air. A state radio. It's a ICOM 7700 with a hand mic, and we're going to throw in the SM20 desk mic in the package deal, so it'll make it a little more attractive. But we're asking $2,500 for that Kenny AG5XP. Put the golden touch to it, the Midas touch on it, the golden screwdriver, and it is working 100%. 9 out of 10 plus cosmetic. And I'm going to ask people to use my QRZ email address because I can't hear on the phone unless I call people with my headphones on. So if you're interested, it's tbum@AOL.com, just like on QRZ. Kilo Charlie 5, November Papa Charlie.
Okay, Hubert, you sounded good there on your keyboard as usual. I'm sure everybody heard you there because you were plenty loud here. Mighty fine on that. Okay. By the way, I am still looking for some covers for a FL2100B. You could shoot me an email on QRZ under my call Whiskey Kilo 5 Radio, or you can give me a call at 903-873-3135. Again, that is 903-873-3135. And if I don't answer, please leave a message. I'll get back to you. All right, enough with that. Who else for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now. Recheck, go ahead.
This is Hubert, Kilo Charlie 5, November Papa Charlie. What were you needing for an FL2100?
Covers. I need the top and bottom cover part.
Oh, okay. All right, I misunderstood I couldn't understand what you said. All right, I just happen to have an FL2100B, so I just thought I'd ask. KC5NPC.
Yeah. I might buy the whole thing if you got one, and it wouldn't matter even if the transformer's blowed up for what I need there, if the price is right. Anyway, enough with that. Okay, thank you anyway, Hubert. Who else for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now. Whiskey 5 Lima India Sierra. Go ahead.
Okay. I couldn't remember phonetics, but I sure do now. Lost in space. Danger, Will Robinson. Anyway, appreciate you for checking in up there from Oklahoma, and the comments sounds good there. All right. Who's next for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now. One more time. Who else for the Boat Anchors Unlimited net? Come now.
KE5ARQ.
KE5ARQ, go ahead.
Hey everybody, this is James over in Floresville, Texas, running a Kenwood TS830S, inverted V, about 40 feet, sure 444 mic, and also got the TL922A, about 1,000 watts right now. Nothing different over here, and everybody sounding good, and appreciate you guys. KE5ARQ, back to net.
All right. The Kenwood sounding great there. All right. Let's see who else is out there for the Boat Anchors Unlimited net. Come now. Who else for the Boat Anchors Unlimited net? Come now. GVC, Kurt, are you up there in Nebraska? He's not there tonight. All right, K5LYN, WK5R. Go ahead, Lynn.
Well, let's see if I'm on the air. What do you make of it, Rusty? K5LYN.
Yeah, push the button and go for it.
All right. Well, I'm back. This is K5LYN, Lynn and Austin. I have switched radios, and if it's not sounding quite right, well, that's just the way it was back in 59 when Heathkit tried to put out their first single sideband rig. Mixed in with several other pieces is what they call the Heathkit SB10 adapter, and it was built by Heathkit and sold such that you could use it with your old AM rig or any number of other radios and put out a primitive version of a single sideband. And just as usual, we notice that the carrier is not exactly suppressed. There, I got rid of a little bit more of it. And I'm using it to adapt a Heathkit DX60 to single sideband, and that is driving my Collins 30L1, and I'm listening on Drake's first receiver, the Drake 1A. A lot of great signals tonight. Good to hear everybody. And so let me see. I want to say hello to James, KE5ARQ. James's father and his grandfather were both amateur radio operators, so he is the third generation. Good to hear you, James. All right, who else for the Boat Anchors? K5LYN, calling and listening. Well, now besides Perry and Missouri, there must have been some other places out there that are hearing our net tonight. You guys come in and talk to us, K5LYN. Maybe not, Jay, or maybe they want to talk to somebody else. Give it a try. Over to you, K5LYN.
Okay. Well, we've had 23 so far, counting ourselves. So it's not too bad. It's better than last week, which last week was pretty good considering one thing and another. But anyway, all right, folks, this is the Boat Anchors Unlimited. The only thing I didn't describe when I was talking about my station a while ago was the microphone. It's an Electro Voice 664 Alpha. Not the big one that you can thump a tire with, but a little one that looks a lot like it. But it sounds the same. Anyway, all right, is there anyone else that we haven't talked to yet, or a recheck, or anyone with a question, or whatever related traffic for the Boat Anchors Unlimited net?
KF5 GOI, short.
GOI, go ahead there.
Yeah, I'm not on an anchor, boat anchor. Mine's still on the bench. Several. I thought I heard Sammy say he had Halley Crafter HT33 amp.
Yes, sir, he sure does. Do you need his phone number?
I've got got him pulled up on the old computer now. I was just wondering, the manual I have shows that it uses the 4CX 300, the little metal ceramic, a pair of metal ceramic tubes. Is that the one he has?
That I don't know. Sammy, are you still there?
That doesn't sound right to me, Jay. Maybe he can look it up on the web and see what it's supposed to have.
I got two of them. One of them has 4CX 300 and one of them has the PL 172.
Okay, I'm interested in the one with the 4CX 300s. Does it work?
Untested.
And how much do you want for it?
$200 untested.
Did you say it works or not?
I said it's untested.
Oh, okay, I couldn't hear the background noise over here. Okay, well, you want me to call you on the phone tomorrow, or just send you an email?
Whatever you like.
Okay.
I'll be out of town tomorrow.
I'll send an email for now, and it'll go from there. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody else. Y'all have a good night.
All right. Another deal going down.
Yeah, KF5GOI signing off. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay, Paul. No problem. It was boat anchor related, so that's what we're here for. Anyone else for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Gee whiz. What do you think, Lynn? Rusty, or whatever? You think we run out of fish?
We might have covered the territory. If nobody wants to talk to me, nobody wants to talk to you, we might give Rusty another shot at it, but I think we've done it. K5LYN.
Sounds like a deal to me. Go ahead, Rusty, and while we, when you take over, if you can't get nothing, and I'm going to say right now, I appreciate everybody that checked in, and we'll look for you next week, just in case we're done. But anyway, go ahead, Rusty.
Okay, Jay. Appreciate it. All right, this is WK5R with the Boat Anchors Unlimited Net. Is there anybody else out there left that wants to talk to us before we shut this thing down? Come now. Last call for the Boat Anchors Unlimited Net. Come now.
WB50ZZ.
Hey, go ahead, Don.
This is Don, WB50ZZ, checking in on a Kenwood and a Kit 220.
Okay, which Kenwood are you on, Don?
520.
Okay, I got it that time. All right, anything else from that?
That's it.
Rusty, I want to take my head back in the dark.
Now go ahead, Perry.
Yeah, Rusty. I didn't even give him a call. Anyway, Rusty, just want to say hey to you and good evening and good evening all the way around to everybody here on the net. It's been a good net, and I appreciate all you guys being here and doing the duties. KB0, you hold that.
All right, Perry, you better move your head before the door shuts on. That might not feel so good. Okay. Yeah, last call for any check-ins for the Boat Anchors Unlimited Net. Come now.
Recheck again.
Okay, I think I heard a recheck. Go ahead.
Kilo Charlie 5 November Papa Charlie. Rusty, can you give me your phone number over?
903-873-3135. 903-873-3135. You get it, Hubert?
I did. Thank you very much. KC5NP.
All right. Thank you, Hubert. All right. Last call. Anybody else out there for the Boat Anchors Unlimited Net? Come now.
November 5 Papa Foxtrot.
November 5 Papa Foxtrot. Go ahead.
Hey, Rusty, good to hear you. This is Phil in Vicksburg. Just checking in, listening to you guys. I try to catch all your net. You never know what's going to come up. Just to pass on that power supply, you put that Swan transformer in. That thing is beautiful. It's running right now. I get 120 watts solid out of it every time I tune it up, and it hadn't skipped a beat. So thank you again. And 73s, and good evening to you guys.
Okay, Phil. Glad it's hanging in there for you. That was that's what I've rebuilt it for. Make it stay and work. Appreciate it. We'll catch you later. All right. Try it one more time. Anybody else left out there? Last call for the Boat Anchors Unlimited net. Come now.
Oh, Russ, one more thing. W50ZZ.
Yeah, go ahead, Don.
Hey, I'm looking for an HW16 Heath kit with an HW16, HW10 VFO that matches it. It's a CW transmitter receiver. It's a CW transceiver.
Okay, you want to get a hold of it just on your email?
Or my phone number, 832-755-2341, New Caney, Texas.
Okay, I'm sure everybody heard that because you were super loud here. Eddie, anything else, Don?
That's about it. I think. I've got a couple of kids interested in. I'm going to start a ham radio training class here. Over.
Roger. Sounds like a good idea there. All right, Don, appreciate it. All right.
Thanks a lot.
Anybody else left out there for the Boat Anchors Unlimited net? Last call, come now.
Check, Rusty.
Hey, go ahead, Mike.
Okay, I just wanted to make a comment. I have a HT33A like Alpha that I got it off eBay. Actually, I outbid Joe Waltz, so it's really clean. It has the PL172 final tube in it, and I can't believe. I know he's got more money than I do. He kind of quit when the bids got to the point where he said, "Hey, it ain't worth that." Anyway, I'm working on a couple of HT32Bs. I'm gonna, if I can get one working, I'm gonna put that with an SX101A and a HT33A. And you're talking about a lot of heavy equipment. They called themselves the giant boat anchors. Well, they didn't call it boat anchors. They said the heavyweight champion. The transmitter, receiver, and amplifier are huge, and they take up a lot of room on the bench. But if I can get them going, I got the SX101A rebuilt, and I haven't tried out the HT33A yet, but they match as far as design and the cosmetics and all that. And I'm kind of a Hallicrafters guy, so I hope to have that on the air before too long. Okay, AL7 Charlie Delta, back to you, Rusty.
All right, Mike. Sounds like a plan in the formation there. We'll be looking forward to hearing them. All right. Try it one more time. Last call for the Boat Anchors Unlimited net. Come now. Okay. Hearing none. I'd like to thank everybody that checked in, because Lynn, myself, even Mike, we all know what it takes to put things on the air and keep them going there. So y'all keep it up. We'll look for you next week. So this is WK5R, now closing the Boat Anchors Unlimited net and returning the frequency to normal amateur abuse. WK5R.